Welcome back to the My Online Schooling Podcast, the place where we talk to staff and parents and pupils to find out more about life at the online school. In this episode, we're talking to a mum, Andrea, whose boy, Martin, has been attending My Online Schooling since 2020. We're going to find out all about Andrea's experience with My Online Schooling, why it fits in with her and her family's lifestyle, and how Martin has been getting on with his online lessons. But we also hear about Andrea's thoughts on school, why more schools should embrace arts and humanities, and how My Online Schooling is providing a meaningful education to Martin. So let's find out about life at an online school through the eyes of a mother, Andrea. Andrea, welcome to this episode of the podcast, and thank you for being here. How are you today?
Fine, thank you. How are you?
Yeah, very good, thanks. Very good. Been looking forward to talking to you. I wonder whether you can just give us a little bit of background as to, where you are in the world and what your family situation is.
Well, I moved here maybe 4 years ago. I was brought here by the UK government because I work with indigenous people in South America in sustainable luxury textiles that rescue the British heritage. That's why I'm here.
Here being in the UK then?
Yes, for about 4 years, yes.
Okay, right. And where in the UK are you?
Between Gloucestershire and Worcestershire in the countryside.
Okay, and tell us a little bit about your family, just for the sake of people listening.
This is my second marriage. Brought here my small son, which now is nearly 10, yes. We were working in this project. Well, after the pandemic, the project ends. Now we're trying to work in other areas related with art and education and things like that. My little son has art skills and I have an artistic background, so we think it's time for changing and to try to encourage people and especially children, because they are the future, to have a new look, a new way of thinking of learning. And that's why we choose this school.
Okay. All right. Well, we're going to get to that in a moment. But tell us a little bit about your own art background. How did you get into art in the first place when you were younger?
Yes, I'm nearly 50 now. I'm getting old. But yeah, I study art in South America, in Chile. Fine arts. I'm an art instructor. But I have also studied other things. I studied 1 year of architecture and then agricultural technician. I don't know how to say it is. And I ended studying culinary arts. And then I traveled around the world. And then I met the indigenous people. Mm-hmm. I started working with them and also with poor people, trying to make another kind of crafts and things more contemporary. Blending also, because Chile has a lot of influence from European immigrants, in some cases British. Where I came from, it's city port. It's beside Valparaiso, which was a very important port. And there was full of British immigrants. So I tried to honor that, and because I found that in the saltpeter offices in the Atacama Desert, the indigenous weavers were recreating some of the British patterns with the textiles. Okay. So because of this blending between both cultures, I ended up having a project which enriched both cultures, the British and the indigenous people culture.
And tell me a little bit about the work that you're doing in the UK at the moment then.
Everything is about STEM, which is it's like science, technology, engineer, the maths, and it's most of the same topic. And what about thinking? What about feelings? What about philosophy? What about starting to question things when you're small? You need to have another kind of I don't know how to say it, of development. And everything starts when you're young. So we are trying to make a kind of movement that should bring humanities back, or they're very important. We're not machines. If you only put children in a box where STEM is the only way, what will happen with all the Frida Kahlos? What will happen with all the all the thinkers, philosophers, artists, musicians? We will lose that. So yeah, my son started thinking about that, and he's very good in art, and he's also learning philosophy and other things. And he said, "Mom, we should do something." Let's start doing something even small. But maybe everything should start with an idea. You don't need that much.
Interesting. Okay, so you mentioned your son. That's Martin, is that right?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Lovely. Could you just tell us a little bit about what his education was and how you were providing an education for him before you discovered my online schooling?
Well, it was a little bit complicated because in South America he went to a private German school. Most of the people went to private schools because public education is really bad. So it was very strict. They learned a lot, but it was very, very strict. Then we moved here and he went to a countryside small school. But I discovered things that sometimes that they don't care about if they're doing good or not. And it's like everything was always perfect. But then when you have the report, it was always working under the expected level. And sometimes I asked his teacher, well, how can I improve his performance? Is there any topic that I can help? And they always said, no, we can't say that to you because he will be in advantage. So which is the point to go in school if you're not learning?
Yeah.
The beauty of learning, it's a gift. So if you're going to school that is not inspiring you, and then you won't flourish, it has no sense. So when the pandemic came, we said it's time to move on. And I started having a lot of questions. I have a daughter, she's 22.
Okay.
She's now in South America and she went to the German school. I was working a lot in those days and I never saw her. She was always studying and I was working. So the life we're having, do we really want to continue that life that is not very friendly with our families, our children? Now I think that I miss a lot with her. I wasn't there. She wasn't there. It's like crazy. So why don't we stay in our house, have a life where we can enjoy the beauty of learning together, where the school is part of us. It's like, for example, I like very much the Reggio Emilia education, but I think it's time to be with our families. It's not only the pandemic. We need more time because then they grow up and they are gone.
And they're gone. And they're gone
yes,
quickly
and they're
as
good.
well.
Yeah, and then with Martin, we can spend hours talking about a topic or discussing things, and he's also able to speak to his teachers, and that was impossible in the other school, and send them emails saying, well, I don't understand this, can you help me with that? We always had a feedback. The classes are nearly 15 children, I guess. And I remember from South America and from the private school, they said not more than 15 children per class, because more than that is you can't even teach and they won't learn properly. So I'm really happy in this school. And the other thing is that we can travel. No, well, due to the pandemic, it's impossible. But but before that,
in normal times,
in normal times, we always want to travel, and with a normal school, it was impossible. It was impossible. You have to wait for the summer holidays or things like that.
So after the pandemic has left us, and hopefully that won't be too far from now, are you looking forward to a life where you are doing some kind of travel, but during school term time, and then being able to take Martin with you? Is that one of your plans?
Yes. Maybe I should return to South America, or I want him to show him other cultures, to meet the indigenous people. He's also very interested in Africa, in African cultures. It's just to have another big, I don't know, you have to be like, I know, another point of view. More you learn, more you see, more you travel, more you meet other people. Your cultural background grows. You can be free and independent, and you can have an opinion about places, people, customs.
So we're looking at South America and we're looking at Africa as a continent. Any particular countries within Africa?
Martin is obsessed with the Burkina Faso people, and because now is the topic in art, and he is making some bois and bobo masks. But yeah, he wants to learn about her cultural background and architecture and things like that. But well, you never know. That will change in the next. Maybe with the next art topic, he will be thinking of another place or another culture. But yeah.
Okay, let's just take it back then to school life, back to my online schooling. How did you find the first week, the first month that Martin was at school? What issues did you find you came across, and how did you resolve those issues, given the fact that I imagine this was possibly the first time that Martin had gone through an online education?
We really don't have any issues. He was very, very happy. Yeah, I thought it was going to be more complicated. The only thing is that he suffered a lot from bully in the old school, so he was and still is very complicated to show himself in camera. But I think that with time that will change.
And for other parents that are thinking about taking the route of an online education, what practical advice might you give to them when they're thinking about how to handle the first week or the first month in that transition phase?
During the first week or something like that, you can be with your son, or daughter beside them, just trying to do the school stuff with them and try to look how things work and things like that. But I'm always around. My house is not so big, so I'm always listening. The teachers are very good. I love it very much. Yes.
So tell me a little bit more then about some of the other benefits that you're finding as a family, given that Martin is now attending school online.
I don't know. There's so many things to say about. Well, first we're together. We can discuss the topics later on, and then, for example, if there is a topic that he's interested in, then we can buy books related to that topic. And so learning is becoming more, you learn through the experience. And the other thing is that they make a lot of work. And so it's not only just reading or something like that. Then they make a lot of homeworks that are related with art in some ways, or drawing something or sketching something or build something. So yes, it has a lot of advantage. It's another way of learning, and I think that people only should need to meet for having fun or sports or art or music. And I'm sorry to say that, but I think this time to change from the brick and mortar schools to the homeschooling.
And what changes have you seen in Martin himself since he joined My Online Schooling in 2020?
He's working a lot, but it's because he wants to, and he flourished, and he's more inspired to improve himself in the topics or make better homework. Or yes, it's like a continuous learning. It's not like you go to school and then you come back home and it's the whole day doing things and stuff, and he's really enjoying it. It's the beauty of learning.
When you first started looking at an online education for Martin, how did you find and how did you hear about My Online Schooling?
I made a lot of search online. I decided this could be it has a lot of positive, how you said?
Reviews,
feedbacks, yes, sorry. And also because the classes were small, only 15, not more than 15. So that was good, especially when the teachers ask about feedback and participation. They can all write in the chat box. And I compare with another online school, and I remember that there were more than, for example, 100 children around the world in one class. What can you learn about that? It's nothing. It's just no feedback. It's not. Yeah. The other thing that I'm very impressed is, I'm sorry to say that, but it's too cheap. It's like, what? Yeah, it's very cheap. It's unbelievable. Yeah.
Tell me about some of the children that Martin has connected with in class and where in the world some of those children come from.
Yeah, that's very interesting because, yes, other children have different backgrounds like us. I came to this country and many questions about our background, ethnicity, the color of our skin, where we come from. It was so strange because for me that's something that is from medieval times. So yeah, he also have a lot of comments about racism. His great-grandfather was British. He moved from Liverpool to South America. And, families were mixed with Italian, Spanish, and other backgrounds. But, yeah, the good thing that in this school, he meet people from multicultural backgrounds, and yeah, and that's good. He said, well, they are like us, and they don't care about the color of our skins, or I don't have any questions like the ones that I have here. It's like something that for us is not important. So the people, I think the people of the world, we're a mix of people from every part of the world and cultures, and I think that is more, for me, it's more, I feel more comfortable that with other people that are questioning our backgrounds or ethnicity or whatever, that's very unrespectful.
Very interesting. And the days of bullying with Martin long behind and no longer happening at My Online Schooling, I guess.
No. I have seen, because I'm always around doing stuff, and children are very respectful in the chat box or when I can hear them speaking. Yeah, in the other school, some kids were very unrespectful, and I don't know. I prefer this school. They're very respectful with between them and also with the teachers. So yeah, that's good and positive.
Andrea, we need to bring this to a close, but just wanted to say thank you very much for your time. Thank you for being here today and being so open and sharing your experience of being connected with My Online Schooling and how it's changed you as a family as well, and Martin. But thank you very much for being here, and thank you for your time.
Okay, many thanks for you. Welcome.
So that was Andrea talking all about her son, Martin, and his experience at My Online Schooling so far. It was great hearing all about the positive effect online learning has had on the whole family. A big thank you to Andrea for her time coming onto this episode. Now, talking of episodes, our next episode is coming out soon. But in the meantime, thank you for listening to this one. Don't forget to follow or subscribe so you can stay in touch. And we look forward to seeing you next time. Bye for now.